where was it? He was in Marseille, no? Marseille. First thing I would say would be, parlez-vous anglais, which is, do you speak English? And a lot of the time they're like, no. And you're like,
we got to Paul Ricard. After Monza, the first lap incident, the car had been completely repaired by Rinaldi.
I hope the race is longer than the last one.
Because when you have a big accident, sometimes things can get a hairline crack, and they just don't get caught until they get put under stress on a racetrack again, which is why you shake a race car down after a big repair. And so that had already happened. The team showed up prepped and ready with a fantastically repaired race car, and it was as if it never happened. But what was really interesting was Paul Ricard is also a night race. So it's a 6-hour race, and it goes into the evening. Starts at 6 p.m., ends at midnight. So we're already kind of at the duskish hours. The European summer is long, sun doesn't set until very late. We didn't actually have any night practice. We weren't going to get to drive the car in the dark until the race.
what do you mean we don't get night practice?
Qualifying went really well. Samantha had a really strong lap. Isaac had a really strong lap, and I got to actually put in a lap this time. Qualifying 3 wasn't canceled like it was at Monza. And it was really good because, I also was still wrapping my head around this car. I don't have a lot of time in the 48 personally, just a couple races, a couple test days here and there. And for me personally, something really clicked in the car during qualifying, and I put in a really solid lap. And our aggregate time, the 3 of us together, qualified as P3, which we were pretty happy with, ahead of some of the other cars we were fighting in the championship.
And then started the race with the goal and expectation of we just want to finish. We just want to drive, we want to finish the race. We're going to forget about Monza. We're going to forget that Monza ever happened. We do get more points because it's a 6-hour, so we were really prioritizing just, again, getting the points in the bag and finishing the race. So Jon started.
When it's green, you need to wait the finishing line.
Yeah, so it's the opposite of the US.
I will remind you on the radio.
Sounds good.
I volunteered Jon, maybe change that bad luck a little, but he had a great stint. Unfortunately, right at the beginning, I think 20 minutes in, he got hit by a Porsche, not in our class, by the way. So completely unavoidable contact, but he got spun around and we were dead last in the field. But he pushed hard in his entire stint, and I think he ended up giving us the car back 3rd in class. There was also a situation at the start where the leader in our class got crashed out and his race was done, so we got moved up 1 position. So, did we end up P3? I think we were P3 or P4 when I got into the car. And context, race started at 6, so I got in around 8 p.m. Jon did a double, and then I was planning to do a double stint. So I was getting in as the sun was setting. I had to turn on my headlights midway through the stint. Isaac reminded me exactly where those buttons were. Thanks, Isaac. But kind of getting settled into it again. I haven't done a night stint in a minute, and what's very different about the night stints is that everybody's headlights are on, and it's like the high beams, okay? High beams are on. You have no gauge of how far away that car is behind you when you see the headlights for the first time. So you're always constantly checking your mirror, and it's obviously harder to see. I'm waiting for the train. I like trains. Something you have to be really careful about is if a car comes by, you have to make sure there's not a train of cars. And a lot of the times there were trains of cars, so I was a little bit overwhelmed in the first half of my stint, but had some great battles. And once I put on a fresh set of tires in my second half of the stint, I was pushing hard, passed a Porsche, not in our class, and passed 4 P2 in class as well. So I had a really great second stint and handed it off to Isaac, P2 in class, and all he had to do was just bring her home, and that's exactly what he did. We finished the race, P2 in class, podium, only go on the podium, by the way.
Nice.
Can you get water?
Nicely done.
Can I grab it?
The water bottle working? at the end it was easy. The problem was not to overpush, no, sorry, not to go too slow, you know? Because when you try to go slow, then you disconcentrate. There's nothing to do. We cannot go to P1 and we will not go. And then I was just getting a little bit boring. Was running like this.
Taking a photo.
Hey, we made it finally.
We really broke our streak of bad luck, and I believe we gave the car a proper send-off because that was our last race in the 488 GT3. We will now be switching into the 296. So overall, we were very, very happy. Everybody drove great, and Rinaldi Racing always, had nailed the pit stops, gave us a great car. So it was overall a great weekend.
I got to say that getting the podium was like a huge monkey off the back too, because throughout the year we started out at Monza with a huge crash and not even turning laps in the race. The US program, we've definitely found our feet over there, but we're looking for some momentum on both sides. And I feel like now that we've been on the podium, we've got a good result, we've got a trophy to bring home. It's a good feeling, it's validation of all the hard work that we've been doing as drivers and as a team. And I feel like the momentum is going to shift. We're going to start getting results a lot more often now.